Ladies and gentlemen, if you're having a bad day, congratulations, because the world is gonna be destroyed very soon. In like 8 days, we're gonna be finished. There's 6 planets coming together in the sign of Pisces. They're gonna come against you. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna finish everything. They're gonna hit you hard. There'll be nuclear war, there'll be world war, there'll be famine. There's new corona coming. There's Armageddon, there's apocalypse, there's pralaya. How many of you have heard of all this in the last 3 to 6 months? How many of you have heard that something massive is going to happen on 29th March this year, 2025? Well, guess what? Sorry to disappoint you, but the world is not going to be destroyed. And this time, I will not speak from my subjective experience. I will quote directly from the Srimad Bhagwatam. The Srimad Bhagwatam, which is the crest jewel of all the Vedic literatures, written by Maharishi Vyas at the pinnacle of his spiritual maturity after he wrote all the Vedic scriptures. That same Srimad Bhagwatam says, this age that we are living in is called Kali Yuga, which is the dark age, which in length is 4,32,000 years. 4,32,000 years. Can you believe it? Now, what does this mean? This means that, let's calculate how much is remaining. Kali Yuga started around when Sri Krishna left this world. Now, that is around 5,000, or you put, 5,500 years or whatever. Around, let's take around 5,000. So that means a bit less than 4,28,000, which is more than 4,27,000 years. Okay, around 4,28,000, but I would say 4,27,000 something years are still remaining. And the Srimad Bhagavatam clearly says, you can read, you can read fourth canto, third canto, you can read about the 3 types of pralay. Then you can read the 12th canto. So where there is description of Kali Yuga, Kalki Avatar will come at the end. The Kalki Avatar will come from a particular place. The name of the father, mother, father at least is also mentioned. Okay. So therefore, please understand that 29 March 2025, many planets, 6 planets are coming together. And there could be massive changes. As I've been telling since last 10 days, that, jobs will end, there will be massive layoffs, and added to this, there could be something else, like, there could be bigger wars, there could be a new virus which comes out, or whatever. There could be any level of craziness because of these contradictory energies. But the whole world will not be destroyed. And I will tell again, even if you lose your job, or everything is finished in the sense, all the existing systems are not working, people are turning out new, discovering new things. Even after that, it will depend on what is going on in your chart, in your Mahadasha and your Antar and your Pratyantar, all the 3. Okay. So if your chart is good, and especially if your dashas are good this year, then don't worry. You can just, it's just like another year, nothing, life threatening is going to happen. But suppose your chart is not good, then, and along with that, you have a bad dasha, or let's take the other way around, your chart is good, but still you have a bad dasha, okay, bad mahadasha, antardasha. So if your chart is good and your mahadasha, antardasha is not good, then you may have some problem, considerable problem. And if your chart is also bad, your chart is weak, it's bad, it's not strong enough, and on top of that, your Mahadasha, Antardasha is terrible, it's very bad, then you will have considerably more, more problems, considerably higher amount of problems, depending on what your Dasha is indicating. That will happen, okay? So therefore, it is imperative that you understand that it does not happen that, oh, the world we will destroy. So again, I'm not ruling out the possibility of some crazy thing happening. I'm not saying that. I have already predicted that massive layoffs and all this will happen. But to say that the whole world will be finished, that is a pure exaggeration. And that is, in my opinion, that is clearly another way to get more views or get clickbait. Okay. So nowadays, we see many things are happening. Like, recently, I think yesterday, there was this news about this cricketer, Indian cricketer. I don't know if he's still a cricketer or an ex-cricketer, but he had to pay a lot of money, in alimony. So many of the men have asked me, and lady has also asked, what will happen, with the men and all this. So when Saturn enters Aries, which is February 2028, from then you will start to see, men's rights movement and all this will begin. Okay. And well, I will make that video some other time. But in Pisces, especially when Saturn enters from 29, the thing is the same. I'm repeating it for the 100th time. Massive layoffs will start. Now, suppose your dasha is good. What will happen? You may be laid off, but you will now start your own business. Because see, the Deshkal Patra will apply. So if there are massive layoffs happening and your dasha is good, so it may be that you may not be laid off. Or it may be even if you are laid off, then you quickly find another job or you start your own business. So this is how the dasha will operate. Okay. Like during Corona time. Okay. So 20, I'm unable to recall the date, but end of 2019 also something similar happened. 5 or 6 planets came together. And in that video also I said that whatever is there in your chart will happen. And exactly that happened along with Corona, of course. Now, what does it mean? It means in 2020, when Corona was at its peak, I saw charts of many people. I personally know people who became millionaires and multimillionaires during Corona because of, whatever, online business or online work or whatever. And some people who had problems in their chart, they lost their job. Some people who had problems in their health, in the health area of their chart, they lost their lives also. So, of course, if there is a circumstance that will hamper. So, for example, if there are massive layoffs happening, even if you have a very good dasha, unless you have an exceptionally great dasha, you may also be laid off. If you, I know people who did not have any health problems, but they also got Corona. Because that's like, it is there, time, place, circumstances. It's like a pandemic. It's there everywhere. But those people who got Corona but did not have a problem in their chart in health, they recovered from it. It is like within 2 weeks, they were back to normal. But those people who had problems, now in their chart, it was indicating health problems. So their problems got exaggerated and they really had a problem. And actually two of my, I won't say close, but close to my family, no, not literally my family, but my known people, they passed away, and some other people also passed away in my family. But what I'm trying to tell you is that Deshkal Patra will apply, no doubt. If there is a nuclear war, suppose semi-nuclear war, or if some other calamity comes and like the war escalates, Israel, Gaza, Palestine, or what is that, India China conflict, India Pakistan conflict, or whatever nowadays, the conflict in Manipur, or Myanmar conflict, or suppose India Sri Lanka start a war, India Nepal, India Bhutan, whatever. Material world is a place of nonsense. Anything can happen. Okay, today friends, tomorrow enemies. Okay, love at first sight, divorce at first fight. Okay, anyway, so, or what is it? What else do we need? There is this Russia-Ukraine conflict is going on. Now, Trump is trying to mediate, but in one of the videos, as I said, Trump's date of birth is weaker than Putin's. So he will not be able to negotiate in Ukraine's terms, or, at the end, Putin will have the last laugh. Okay. So that may escalate and that may lead to, stock market crash. This may happen, that will happen, blah, blah, blah. So all these things can happen. I'm not saying it will not happen. I am also not saying that it will happen for sure. But suppose it happens at the end, always remember your chart is the supreme. So if your chart is showing that your dashas are good, then nothing will happen. Even if it happens, you will come out of it. Okay, it's just a matter of time. Okay, so therefore, if you feel that oh, this is happening, that is happening, what will happen, world will be destroyed, or maybe something even worse happens, there's like some what is that, meteor or something, asteroid that comes and crashes, but even then this world will survive, because this world as we know, this earth as we know, I mean, we humans, we barely know of the earth, right? What else do we know? We can see some planets using telescope, that is all. We don't have much idea about the universe. Okay, I mean, we personally don't have, science might have advanced, but this earth that we live in is actually known as Bharat Khanda in the Vedic scriptures. And okay, let me go top down wise. Like the Srimad Bhagavatam mentions, there are 14 planetary systems. Okay, so 14 planetary systems. Then the seventh one is known as Bhulok. Okay, so Bhulok is where we are. We means we'll come to that. So the seven planetary system from, so top six, bottom seven. Okay, so this is the planetary system that we are in, but this Bhulok is again divided into different dvipas. Okay, so then thus the centralmost island where the Mount Meru Parvat is in, that is known as Jambu Dweep, and within Jambu Dweep also there are different islands. Okay, I mean, not like literally islands, you can say, it's like parts. Okay, so sorry, I'm wrong, not islands, there are different parts. Okay, Varshas, these are known as Varshas, they are separated by mountains. And the most part of the Jambudvip is known as Bharat Varsha. And then this Bharat Varsha is further partitioned into many khandas. Okay, we'll go to the technicalities and numbers some other time. And within the Bharat Varsha, the last division, southernmost, is known as Bharat Khanda, which is mentioned to be spherical. It is clearly mentioned in the Vishnu Puran and so many other places. Okay, Ugol Varnam, it's mentioned. That is why you will see in when in Sanskrit you are doing a puja or a mantra, or you are sitting in a yagya, they will do this invocation. Jambu Dvipe, Bharat Varshe, Bharat Khande. Why do they say so? Inside Jambu Dvip there is Bharat Varsh, then inside that there is Bharat Khand, and that is where you are situated. Now, of course, India, the country India as of today, as we know, is loosely referred to as, Bharat or Bharatvarsh, but actually Bharatvarsh has a totally different meaning. Okay. And of course, that's a very complicated topic. But what I'm trying to tell you is the earth that we are in here today is a very, should I say, insignificant? Maybe that's a bit of demeaning the earth, but that's the fact, it's a very, very, very small part. And there are so many, like, Jambu Dweep is there, like Conch Dweep is there is Pushkara Dweep, there is like so many, so much more is there, just alone in this Bhuloka. If you study, wow, if you study fifth canto Bhagavatam, you study Bhugol Varnam, and you study Vishnu Puran and so many other, Narsimha Puran. So there are different cosmological information which is there. And especially the crust jewel of all the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavatam, clearly tells this. It also tells you the combination astrologically, that when these planets are in these particular signs, or this, I think it talks about the nakshatra. Let me see who can write it down in the comments. It says, 3 planets, and they are in a particular nakshatra. When they are in a particular nakshatra, then Satya Yuga will commence. And it is like clearly mentioned what will happen. Ananshesh will, what Ananshesh will do, what a lot of things are mentioned. If you want, you can read the 5th and the 12th canto. There you will get maximum information about dissolution. There are different kinds of pralayas. One pralaya is when the entire universe goes into the body of Mahavishnu. Another pralaya is when the top 3 planetary systems remain, and the rest is destroyed. different types of levels of pralaya also, different types of dissolution. Okay, dissolution means like complete destruction. Okay, so therefore, if you want to know exactly more, you can read about Kalki Avatar. It is mentioned in the 12th canto and so many other things. Go to the Bhagavatam, you will you will find it very easily. Okay, but at the end you have to remember two things: the world will not be destroyed because we are just around 5,500 years, and 4,27,000 plus years are remaining. That's number one. Number two, there could be calamities or problems. Number three, even if there are serious problems, at the end, whatever is there in your chart, only that will happen. Now, along with the craziness and mayhem. Okay, so be watchful of problems. If you see something, report it. Be a bit careful. Around the time of the eclipse, like from around 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, around 4 5 days. Be a bit careful, where you go. Don't go to dangerous places, like be careful if you travel in the night. Don't go to sensitive areas. So take all the necessary precautions, avoid eating outside, make sure the water you are drinking is pure, and don't eat from unhygienic places, don't do things which like can put you in trouble. Okay, so do all this, but at the same time, don't have this perpetual pessimism. Oh, the world is going to be destroyed. That's not happening. Okay, because 4,27,000 plus years are still remaining. All right, and I am quoting directly from the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no other scripture that I am quoting as of today. No Ramayana, no Mahabharata, not even Bhagavad Gita, and no other Puran, no other Ved, no other Upanishad. The crest jewel of all the Vedic literatures, that is the Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So don't worry. We will see each other after 29 March. I'm sure we will see each other. All right. But again, as you know, when so many planets come together, there could be problems, but we will live. All right. Thank you so much. Please take care. Jai Siya Ram.